Kesätuuli. Kaikki on totteena käynnistä. Don't panic. I'm not gonna do the whole presentation in Finnish. To be honest, if I want to, I couldn't because my Finnish skills are pretty bad. So this is the only thing I have been practicing in the morning because when I was on the train here, I saw the. Oh, by the way, for some of you who doesn't know any Finnish, that means summer is coming and everything is so beautiful. And so that's because I saw all the sceneries outside from the train. It was super amazing, like the lake and the seagulls were singing, and also I saw like a lot of big green trees finally, and also the flowers they are also blooming. So everything is so perfect, and I really like Finnish summer. But what about Finnish winter? I think, well, it's also pretty beautiful in a way that you can see like everything is so peaceful, and I might want to bring this thing over here so you can see it better. So especially when the snow falls, everything looks so peaceful and white. I pretty enjoy that as well, and you can also see northern lights. How amazing! But unfortunately, more often than not, this is the scenery you see every day in the winter. It's like totally darkness. And I think I have two biggest enemies in Finland. One of them is darkness. So I try to figure a way how to do it, because in the winter I couldn't even get up in the morning. So I thought of buying this smart lighting, and which you can connect them to your home network, and then you can control them to, for example, light up every day in the morning. So at 8 a.m. in the morning, everything lights up. So I tried to use that to for example, help me to stimulate the natural sunlight. But unfortunately, it only worked for me 2-3 days, and then my brain got used to it. So I think as a Virgo, and I want everything to be so perfect, and I don't want to use the alarm for my cell phone because the sound quality isn't that good. See, I have this very nice home theater in my apartment, so I decided to, what if I can stream Spotify music to my home theater and try to use the music to wake me up. And after some days of programming and development, so because they don't provide this feature from their application, so I have to do the programming by myself. But it's pretty easy, so I did it in 3 days. And here is how I'm waking up every day. So now with the help of this, darkness in the winter is not that troublesome to me. And by the way, the second biggest enemy in Finland for me is the Finnish language. Because I've been here for 5 years, and to be honest, my Finnish is still like in a very beginner level. But I am kind of like very jealous to whether I am listening to somebody speaking Finnish. I always want to know what they are talking about because I'm pretty gossipy. And so I started to learn Finnish back again in the beginning of this class. By taking this class, it's Suomen Mestari 1, so it's like super beginner level. And I think this is a very good book, and they even provide this nice PDF file so you can learn the vocabulary by looking at the file. But I was not so satisfied with it because I want to. But looking at that single file or print it out is pretty hard for you to learn the vocabulary because they are just massive over there. And because the Suomen Mestari book is a pure written in Finnish, there's no other English word inside. Every time I was doing the homework, if I want to know this word in the textbook name, I couldn't do it because then I had to go to Google, for example, to search it. But there are some problems in Google Translate. First of all, they're not so accurate sometimes. So sometimes even know if the answer is correct or not. And the second, they don't, even though you see there is a star button over here, it doesn't work that well because after you start it, you don't remember to go back and check it out. And I find out myself checking, for example, this word locked there for 5 times before I remember it. So I have to every time go to Google and search it. And also the other problem is that because Finnish language is like based on conjugation, everything needs to change. But over here you cannot see. So for example, you want to say I go, you don't even know how to change it, the word. So you have to go to the other website, for example, this Wiktionary, to see all the conjugation and try to find out the correct one. So, being not satisfied with both of them, I was thinking, what if I can just consolidate all the websites into one system and make myself learn the Finnish better. So, and also according to some scientific studies, the fragmented hours or fragmented minutes are the best time for you to learn languages. For example, when you're waiting for a bus or when you are waiting for somebody in the restaurant, you can always learn some language by remembering the vocabulary. But the system we have on the market doesn't support Finnish language. So, and also I want to do something like this. When I was brushing my teeth, I can also learn some Finnish. Well, or we can also introduce some peer pressure. For example, you play this, trying to play a game out of it. For example, the idea is that if one person, he got the correct translation for 3 words in a row, the other person have to take a shot.
Narcissistic.
Yeah, that's right.
That's that wash.
But now I'm looking at this video, I find out she was not correct at the second word, narcissistic. So let's do a quick demo to check what does narcissistic mean. So I'm gonna use this computer because it's more convenient, but how do we gonna do it? So let's go to Finder from right here. The idea of the website is that every time you search for a word, and is over here. Finnish.app is pretty easy to remember. So every time you search for, can you see it from here? Alright, every time you search a Finnish word, it's requesting 3 different resources out of it. First is searching the word from Google Translate, and the second is also going to search in the Google image. And the third is that it's using an online Finnish dictionary to increase the reliability to this website. So let's search narcissistic. All right, so we don't get the Finnish to Finnish translation. What happened is that if you can see here, I can zoom in a bit, not helping. So thanks to the Google Translator, deep machine learning, I can get, I made a typo over here. So let's click on that. And here we go. So we can see all the conjugation over here. So you can know that how do you use the partitive, the genitive, and like all the things over here. And you can also see the Finnish to Finnish translation over here if you are already know some Finnish language. And over here from the image, you can see that you made a mistake. Narcissistic doesn't mean narcissistic. It means the narcissus, the flower. And with the help of this, you can know that. Even though if you don't know the word narcissus in English, you can know that it's 水仙 in Chinese, and you can also learn English from that. So, and maybe you want to probably save it. Well, but yeah, you have to log into Salesforce because now if you don't log in, it's like saving to nowhere. But how do we do it? I remember in the first presentation, they're talking about the security of things, and if you're an amateur programmer, you might get some problems into logging, and people are not so trustworthy to use your login button. So instead of making my own thing, I actually use Google API for that. So every time you're clicking the login button, you can just use Google, and it's super reliable. So you can just let's do it. There's the app over here. Password, of course. Yeah. So yeah, this is too reliable. You have to do like this MFA, multi-factor authentication, and yeah, it's asking me from here, is you trying to sign in? I said yes, and click 16. All right, we are back here. You can see that we have this handsome me over here as the avatar from Google. So you can see from the favorite, this is the flashcard you saw earlier in the video, and you can see all the translation from different resources from Google and for the online translation website. And let's try to search one more word. This time I probably want to search loud gaps. Is that correct? No. I'm pretty bad in Finnish, as you see. So I want to say this. Laugaus. It means love. Let's save it. And it says save to your favorite. So let's go and check it out. And you can also remove it when you have learned the word. It's over here. Alright, this is the quick demo I just did. Let's log out and go back to this slide. I think some of you might ask, your topic is like how do you learn programming, as you can wait for the element to be visible, which is the Spotify search bar. The 5,000 here means that you have to wait 5,000 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds to be specific, and you set the value of this search bar in my place, and that is the song I played in the beginning of this slide. And you pause to 2 seconds and click on the first album cover and then click play button, and that's it. Every day I got waken up by this program. Not so hard part. And also, talking about browsers, actually some of you have already noticed that the presentation I'm using is not written by the traditional slides program, for example, like the PowerPoints and stuff. I'm actually using the pure code to write this presentation, and it still looks pretty good. And the only thing you need to know is the basic HTML code, and it's pretty easy to understand. This is the first section. You see the title, and H3 means the header 3. It is defining the front of the title, and then there's the paragraph, and small means more, and this is a link to my website and my name. That's simple. So you don't need actually to learn like programming so hard, and you can always achieve it. Learn programming as your hobby. And also Lika, she was the second presenter. She said, nowadays all the materials you can find from the internet. So if you want to do some programming, you can just, without any basic knowledge, you can just search in the internet, and here you go. You can find tons of materials and tutorials and stuff from the internet. But how do you do it? But how do you learn programming as your hobby? My solution is that you don't learn it as your hobby first. You do it with your hobby. So, which means that, for example, if you want to write something, you're a blogger. Instead of like writing a blog, you can just create the HTML. Create a blog all by yourself. And if you want to, for example, your boyfriend or your girlfriend are having their birthdays and you want to express them, you can also write an application or a website to send them a gift virtually instead of sending them this expensive gift. So you can do it with your hobby. No, and then here you go. You can do it and no matter what you want. And actually today is a very special day for me or for my family. It is not my birthday, but it's my parents' 27th wedding anniversary. I am pretty happy for that, and also I'm pretty proud that they raised me, and I'm pretty proud being their kid. And one very small story I want to share you is that last weekend my mom sent me this image to me. She told me that she was reading a program book in the library. I was like, why? You are a Chinese language teacher. Why do you want to learn programming? She said, all right, I just found it in the library and I found out that I can learn English from programming. Oh, okay, that was a very interesting topic and she's still reading it, so I'm pretty happy about that. The point is that I think programming is not as hard as you think right now, and with the technique I just told you, use programming with your hobby, you can do it. My mom can do it, so why don't you? Thank you. Any questions? Maybe we'll hand over the microphone.
No, I think I don't need a microphone, right? Everybody can hear me.
Yeah.
Right, cool. And actually, I'm also a part-time programmer as you. I'm also learning programming by myself. Actually, I have the biggest problem for the normal people. Sorry, it's like I think I'm going to create a Finnish app like yours, and I know nothing about programming. So I can set a goal here, but the problem for me, I think the biggest problem is not to get a learning material. It's like how to draw a map to there. So I can see you using web crawler, right?
No,
it's not web crawler.
It's not web crawler.
What do you use?
So, do you want to get to that?
Maybe later. I'm just gonna finish my question. So how to draw a map to the goal there? So because I'm a regular people, I know nothing about.
All right.
So how can I get the learning material, and how do I know which technology will get there?
I think this is very interesting topic, and I think it's the norm right now because it's so hard to find the correct material for you from there, because we have like a lot of information on the internet, and it's pretty hard to know how to do it. So if you follow your hobby, for example, you want to build a website, and you can just search in the Google that how to build a website for a beginner, and there you go. And if you want to know if you have already some programming skills, for example, the question you asked, you can do something like how do I use Google Translate how do I integrate Google Translate API into my program? Yeah, I use there's a lot of APIs, which means the application programming interface. Well, all kind of information you can find from the internet, and I think all the materials in the tutorial will teach you how to use them. Yeah. Any other questions? And by the way, if you want to try out using the Finnish.app website, you can always use it. It's completely free. It's all based on my personal hobby. It's not for commercial use at all.
Apparently, I have to come up with a question.
You don't need to if you don't want to.
Are you planning on expanding your Learn Finnish app somehow, or do you plan on keeping it like a safe vocabulary and for memorizing? Like what kind of future plans do you have?
Well, I think it's a good question. So the idea of this whole thing was like, because we were having this, I had this lunch with a friend of mine. She told me that she was thinking about doing this, and I thought, I am also learning Finnish, and there's nothing on the market right now for me to use it. So instead of finding or waiting for the developer to do it, why not make it by myself? But that was all based on the current requirement of myself. But if you have any suggestions or to increase the features in the website, you can always tell to me or comment it on the website. And I think I'll be happy to build more on the website.
Okay, great. Thank you to Mr. Wei Chenyu for his great speech. And anyone else who wants to try, follow his